I can manage how to. Um, Hello.
I can hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Uh, so in the listening now, I think that I had the required skill for the required score.
Oh,
But actually, um, I need your help with writing because I think I had a lot of flaws, especially with writing, and I need some guidance with reading.
okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about writing.
Yes.
What is what is your main challenge with writing? Probably this is a general question that I am entitled to answer.
Mm,
But the reason I'm asking you this is just to get an idea from your own perspective on the main challenges that you have in IELTS
mhm.
writing.
Yes.
What we are going to do, just to give you an idea, is that I'm going to send you a question sample that
Yes.
was given to test takers before in IELTS. What I am going to do is I'll ask you to write 300 words
Mm,
on the prompt of that question. You send me the draft on a Word document.
mm,
After that, I will give you feedback. You
mm,
make the feedback necessary changes and you send it to me. So I check draft number two. I
mm,
understand we do not have enough time
mm,
because you only have less than a month to
mm,
take the IELTS test. But I can definitely assure you that once you understand the four major elements that will be used to check your writing in
mm,
IELTS, you
mm,
will totally ace it. And by ace it, we mean you're going to get a very higher score in IELTS. Now, in IELTS,
yes.
they assess your writing based on four principles, and these principles is the task completion.
Yes.
If I ask you, did you go to Baghdad? And you say, well, I met my friend and then we decided to go to Ramadi. And then after that, we took a car and then we went to Mosul and then we came back home.
Mm,
Now, this cannot be considered as a task completion because
mm,
you did not answer my question. My question is, did you go to Ramadi or not?
yes.
If you say yes, this
Mhm,
leads me to my next necessary element
mm,
in assessing your writing, which is are, are there any logical sequence of events? Are the sentences that you're saying connected or
yes.
not?
Yes. Coherent and
Are,
cohesion.
are there any vocabulary diversity there? Like when we are talking about spectrum
Yes.
of vocabulary,
Yes.
Mustafa, if
Yes.
you repeat, if you repeat, now I guess your laptop battery is dying.
No, 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 no. It's the antivirus.
Okay, maybe the antivirus has detected kind of air virus coming from me, like on the micro microphone.
Mm,
Now that's the second element.
yeah.
Like the third element is that when you write, you need to show the
Mm,
reader because
mm,
the readers do not see you. They
mm,
only see the words that are coming out of your pencil. You
mm,
write pencil. Um, and they need to see that you have very strong vocabulary. So instead of
mm,
saying, for example, weak, you can you can use the word frail, or you
mm,
can use the word deprived instead of
mm,
saying poor.
mm,
They need to see a number of vocabulary that can be considered advanced level. They're not like any regular vocabulary, they are advanced level vocabulary.
mm,
Instead of saying, for example, word like think, you use a bigger word like contemplate, believe,
mm,
one of the big words that we use for that. And this is very important because they need to know that you have a bigger pool of words to
mm,
choose from. Otherwise, they are not going to give you the chance to get a very high score in writing.
yes.
Writing is very challenging to a lot of Iraqi learners.
Yes.
Just simply because we do not write. We are a nation that doesn't write anything, you know. Probably. And the fourth category that they assess you on is grammar.
Grammar.
Okay, so we have four elements: task, completion. We have
Coherence and cohesion.
the logical sequence of events, and by that we call this coherence and cohesion, but this is grammatical thing. And we also have lexical diversity,
Yes.
or the resourcefulness of your vocabulary. And also we have grammar aspects. They are very nasty. British people are very nasty when it comes to checking your grammar.
Yes.
And above all of that, you have to have a very good handwriting. You know, we know that dentists and doctors in general in Iraq have very beautiful handwriting.
That's the second dilemma.
So it's really important that you make sure you're writing good punctuation and good spelling.
Yes.
Now, what I want you to do is write these four elements down:
Yes.
task completion, logical sequence, vocabulary diversity, and grammar. I want you to write them down now. If you wrote them down, now we're going to talk about something that is supposed to be written. Okay? I will ask you a question, and I do not want you to give me a written version of it right now, but I want you to give me a verbal version of it. And by verbal means spoken.
Yes.
Because we already write our ideas and our thoughts on paper. So they are not coming out of nowhere, they are coming out of your mind. What I want you to do is simply remember something, that we can speak faster than we can write. There is a better chance that you can correct your writing, but there is less chance that you can correct your speaking. So it's a little bit challenging to you. Because once you say it, it's really hard to drag it back and put it back in your mouth to filter it. It's already been said, correct? So it's really difficult and challenging to say something back that you already said. Now, the question, we'll cover some of the questions. And these questions are going to give you an idea of what you are going to write about. Now, we understand that you are giving around 40 minutes to finish this task.
Yeah.
Now, before you finish this task, you have to plan what you're going to write.
Yeah.
To have at least 4 to 6 paragraphs. That is the structure of the paragraph. My question to you is, what are you going to write in the first paragraph, the second, third, fourth, and last paragraph?
Okay.
Tell me in general, like before we talk about topic, just to get an idea about what you have in mind regarding what you should write for Ielts.
Okay. I think I might go to write 4 to 5 paragraphs. The first paragraph, it must be an introduction about the topic, and the second paragraph, it may be might called the main body. It's maybe discussion about the first discussion, and the third one is also another discussion, or maybe might be another idea or about the topic, and the final one, which is the conclusion.
Okay, now let's get started here by asking you some of the questions that I thought of asking you before. What changes would you like, or would you make your hometown more appealing to people in your age? Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion. I'll repeat the question. What changes would you make your hometown that will make it more appealing, more attractive to
Yes.
people in your age, like tourists?
Yes.
Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion. Mustafa, I want you to remember something exactly.
Yes.
This thing that I want you to remember is this.
Okay.
When you're asked any kind of question, when you're asked any kind of question in Ielts,
Okay.
they don't care about your opinion. They only care if your opinion is valid and you have good reasons, justifications, and examples to support your opinion.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. It is very important.
Yes.
Now, I want you to give me a spoken answer to this kind of questions. The question is, what changes would you make to your hometown, which is Baghdad, in order to make it more attractive to people like tourists? Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion.
Okay. Are you with me?
Is this a challenging question?
A little bit about the examples and the resources because in the matter of changes, there are a lot of changes that are required in Baghdad.
Yes.
But with the reasons and examples, it's need a little bit of thinking to build a general idea.
I agree.
Yes, yes. But
let me ask you another question and then postpone this question to later on. And if we have time, we can come back to it.
Just a small interruption. Sorry. It's yeah, when I have to answer only for the tourism or for the general for anything I required, for everything that's required, appealing for
No,
tourism.
I'm just checking the four items that I asked you to keep in mind.
Mm,
Item number one is the
yes,
task completion.
yes,
Item number two is the logical sequence of events. Item
yes,
number three is vocabulary diversity. And item number four is grammar. These are the four elements according to which you are assessed in terms of grammar, in terms of lexical diversity, in terms of coherence and cohesion, and in terms of task completions. These are the four elements that you are going to be judged on and upon in IELTS writing. So, task completion, number one. When I ask you a question like people attend college or university for many reasons. For example, new experiences, career preparation, increasing knowledge. Why do you think people attend universities in Iraq right now? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer. That's a typical question that comes in IELTS, but they're not going to highlight Iraq because the test is supposed to be an international one, so it's distributed equally over the world without giving any kind of bias to certain country over the other. So what I want you to do is imagine that this question is spoken to you, like I'm doing conversation. I'm not doing writing. I want you to answer this question from your own personal experience. But don't focus that you are going to write on that one because I just need to give you an idea about the four categories that you mentioned here and give you highlights about certain vocabulary or logical sequence of events or what you should necessarily do. We're just doing simulation, muhakat, that can serve for speaking and writing alternatively.
Yes, and nowadays there has been a lot of focusing of knowledge. So a lot of people their degree to improve their resumes and to get a proper jobs. So in my opinion, there is a lot. There is an increased uh, uh, attention toward toward especially for peoples. Uh, this is the introduction.
Yes.
Yes.
Now we come to task completion. My
Yes.
question is, did you complete the task? Probably you did not, because you spoke less than 100 words trying to describe this issue. You are required to write around 250 words regarding this topic, and this 250 words are distributed probably equally on 4 to 6 paragraphs, and each paragraph carries weight and significance and logical sequence that is connecting previous paragraph to the next one in terms of the quality of the presentation and the completion of the task, lexical diversity, coherence and cohesion, and grammar.
Okay.
Now, I'll ask you the question again.
Okay.
What I want you to do is to give me a better version of it. I want you to give me a better version of it. But remember, Mustafa, that when I ask you this question, I will ask you the question again, and you're going to send me a written draft of it. The question in your chat here. People attend college or university for many different reasons. For example, new experiences, career preparation, increased knowledge. Why do you think people attend college or university? Use specific reasons and examples. The judgment committee that is going to assess your writing is not going to build that assessment on on no basis. No, they have 4 bases on which they are going to build their assessment and judgment of the quality of your writing out of 9. So they are going to give you 9 for task completion. They're going to give you 9 for lexical diversity. They are going to give you 9 for coherence of your ideas, the logicality of your ideas. And 4, they are going to give you 9 for grammar. Now, the average of 9 is 9 if you get 9 in all of these 4. But say you get 7 and you get 6 and you get 5 and you get 4 in each one of these 4 categories, the average of 7, 6, 5, and 4 is going to be probably 5.5 or 6.
Yes.
This average is going to be reflected in the total score that you're going to get in Ielts in writing.
Yes.
We're not talking about speaking or reading or listening. We are only purely
writing.
focused on writing. So remember something, that you do not get 1 score in Ielts in writing. You get 4, but you get the average of 4.
Yes.
You get 9, so the maximum score you get for task completion is 9. So maybe you get 7, you get 8, you get 4. That is going to be for task completion. What we need to know is whether we can get 9 in Ielts task completion, because we know that we can divide the task and get a better result out of it. Okay?
Yes.
Now, I'll ask you the question again. Hopefully that we can get a better answer to that. The question is in the chat box. I just want you to read it carefully and give me a better version out of it. We're just doing a little bit conversation here.
Become a lot of interesting for a lot of people because there are a lot of reasons for attending college. It might affect your experience, and it may improve your career preparation, and to increase your knowledge. So a lot of people focus on getting a higher degree, especially at universities. There are a lot of reasons that might